Hey there, this is a response to a comment on one of my videos, which was Louis Klein's miasms and nosodes, and the person was asking about parasitic infections, specifically protozoa. Now, in this book, he basically clumps protozoa in the parasitic family, and by the way, I couldn't find it for some reason. So thank you for showing me where it was in that actual book. And anyway, so I'm going to read from it directly because he just captures it so well. But in this book, he basically talks about two specific categories or two specific types of parasitic infection, which would be malaria and toxoplasmosis. I think they're both very intriguing areas. Toxoplasmosis would be a lot of times coming from pets and cats that go out, that go outside and eat like bad food or whatever. But here we go. Oh, by the way, if you have a parasitic infection, do not treat it yourself. Work with somebody. This is this is some serious stuff, and you can have long-term damage done to the tissue. So that's not something to be playing around with if you are not a professional or you're just kind of experimenting. If you have problems healing it homeopathically because you can't find a competent homeopath, maybe try essential oils. They just kind of poison the parasites. But still, even then, if you don't know what you're doing, you're going to get in trouble. So find somebody that is competent, no matter what the price, financially or energy or time or whatever it takes. You got to travel. But here you go. Just going to read straight out. The chapters below on malaria and toxoplasmosis discuss two protozoan parasitic remedies prepared from single-celled organisms which cause infectious disease. However, we can expand the concept of parasitic and thus include a larger group of remedies derived from the broader realms of nature, including multi-celled parasitic organism. Examples include homeopathically prepared Solanum tuberosum. I think that's a potato infection, infested with a fungus, and Viscus alba, the parasitic plant mistletoe. You could say that individuals who need remedies in the parasitic miasm or group have expectations of being taken care of by others close to them. The idea of parasitic can be translated into mind and dispositional terms, and already in our lexicon it has many such connotations and usage. A parasite is an organism that obtains food and shelter from another organism and which derives all benefits from its association while giving very little of itself. Translating this into dispositional or human or animal relationships, the host organism in this case tends to be the family, a friend, or even an organization or business, which the parasite is the person who takes advantage of this host. The host can even be a sympathetic stranger to whom the patient unexpectedly clings, as in the case of homeopathically prepared toxoplasmosis. We use the word parasite not only to describe disease entities, but also in the common vernacular to describe a person who takes without giving. The origin of the word is from the Greek, one who eats at another's table. To recognize this underlying theme in an individual patient, though, requires some perceptive ability on the part of the practitioner. During or after taking the case, the patient such as this, you will get the overall impression that they expect something from those around them to point to a point of a parasitic dependency. You can eventually come to a realization that this is also a large part of the relationship with you. The situation may outwardly and materially represent this theme, as in the case of malaria, where there is a conflict originating in the patient's expectations of wealth from the family. In the case of toxoplasmosis, the patient can cling to a stranger with whom they find solace. So, this just goes on and on, getting deeper into the different aspects. I'm not going to show remedies here because that, I think, would be inappropriate. I would recommend, if you're a professional, buy this book. If you're not, find somebody, or maybe even contact, Louis Klein himself, because, he is a professional homeopath that handles, and he wrote the book, if this condition is really troublesome for you. I think that the section on malaria, I mean, seriously, every section in this book is awesome. But essentially what it is, I mean, just on a psychological level, where I think that even if you take a remedy that works on the physical, if you don't hit the mental element or shift mentally on what's going on, you're still going to have a parasitic situation going on. And what it is you have to confront ultimately what's going on with you, where you're taking from others and where you're not giving enough. So you have to find a balance point and really reevaluate all the relationships and organizations you have relationships with, people and organizations. So good luck, and thank you for posting. Comment.